Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I want to start by saying I think illegal immigrants are a scourge in this country. I'm going to walk through why before I get to my question. So I think what we heard a lot of misstatements here about correlation leading to causation. Number one, illegal immigrants undercut American wages. They do by definition because they cannot work on the books. And so as a result, they have to work off the books. And so that is true that taxes are not being paid, benefits are not being provided. And that, unlike what Ms. Hahn said, that is what leads to more legal workers working off the books. Because in order to be competitive in the job market, companies begin to hire legal workers off the books in order to have them in addition to their illegal workers. That's what I've heard from my constituents who are in the construction business back home. They say, how can I possibly compete for contracts following the rules when I have to compete with those who do not? So number one, illegal immigrants undercut the wages of American workers. Number two, they don't pay taxes. Again, they are off the books. And then number three, they cost a fortune. When an illegal immigrant goes to the hospital, we pay for it because they can't have health insurance. When an illegal immigrant sends their child to school, we pay for it because they're not paying those taxes. And when an illegal immigrant drives a car, for example, in my state of Florida, and they cause an accident, that causes expenses to Americans who have higher auto insurance rates because they effectively have to pay for the insurance of those illegals. I have a view that we should deport every single illegal immigrant in order to solve these problems. And I'm always amazed by the fetishization that I hear on the other side towards these folks. The fact that people are not using E-Verify means that we need to push them to use it more, and we need to increase the penalties to do it, because that is what will increase the situation. If we want people to be trained so that they can take the jobs that illegal immigrants are taking, we need wages to go up. We need to stop competing with illegal immigrants. I don't disagree that in many industries are reliant on illegal immigrant labor today. We need to fix that by sending the illegal immigrants home. So I have a question for Ms. Jenks. This hearing's about E-Verify, but I want to take a step back. This didn't just come out of the blue. It was done for a reason. Why did Congress find it necessary to create an E-Verify system? Why did they think it was important? Did they just sort of wake up one day? Why did they think it was necessary to require employers to only knowingly hire authorized workers and then to impose sanctions on employers who fail to comply? What led them to do this?
So it was first made illegal to hire an unauthorized worker in the 1986 Immigration Reform and Control Act. It had been talked about by various commissions and members of Congress and so on for years and years prior to that, but they actually did it in 1986 and created the I-9 form, the paper system for employers to try to show that they were only hiring legal workers. The result of that was a massive industry in fraudulent documents. And so as a result of that industry in fraudulent documents, and specifically a recommendation by Barbara Jordan, the chairwoman of the Commission on Immigration Reform created by the 1990 Immigration Act, Congress, Lamar Smith, actually, who was the chairman of the Immigration Subcommittee of the Judiciary Committee at the time. And by the way, today is his birthday, so it's very fitting that we're having this hearing today, and he'll kill me if he hears me say that. So he added the basic pilot program, this verification system that became E-Verify, into the 1996 Illegal Immigration Reform and Immigrant Responsibility Act. And it has evolved since that initial pilot program, which was very strictly limited to certain employers in 5 states and then went nationwide in 2005. And by the way, as a small business, our company employs 5 full-time workers. We use E-Verify, and I can tell you that it works in that the very first person I put through the system, I actually hired from ICE and didn't expect a tentative non-confirmation for, and got one, and went to her with the letter that it told me to print out to hand to her, and she said, oh yeah, I forgot to change my name with the Social Security Administration. She went over lunch and did that at the Social Security Administration in Washington, D.C., came back, still from her lunch break, and it was fixed. I ran her again, and she was perfect.
Well, thank you. Look, this is a scourge. We need to be using E-Verify more because we need to deport every single illegal immigrant in this country. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.